All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you there. Good afternoon to you, wherever you are. This is J. Randy here. And again, I would like to welcome you to this special and Sunday morning tea water discussion with me, J. Randy. It's always my pleasure to be here. And as always, this is a tea water discussion. And we are here today to focus on few issues and I hope that you will stick and stay because it's going to be a learning experience. And I also look forward to your participation here as well. So thank you so much for joining me here. And let me do what I do best here. I'm going to come down here and look for my Facebook stuff here so that we can start. So please share the video out there. If you're out there, please share the video. Today I'm broadcasting on a different channel here. And I would like to thank you so much for joining me here. So let me share the video here. So share with friends here. All right. And then share with, let me go to Messenger here. All right. Let's go to Messenger so that I can start sharing to friends. And let me say welcome to you guys again. Yes. Welcome again. I'm just sharing endlessly here. All right. To my friends and good friends that are in Australia. Good morning to you guys over there. And I know that you guys, some of you guys are deep in sleep. My friend Yango and Kamara, I know that. Oh, I see my boy Alex is here. Alex, please share the video. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity here. We're going to have a very informed conversation this morning. And let's see here. Yeah, I see all the group here. I think I got it in all the group now. Okay, I think I got it in all the group here. And let me come over here. This other software is tricky, so I just look forward to seeing you guys joining me here this morning. Let me see here too. Yeah, let me see here. Okay, let's see here. Julian is live. Yes. Here this morning. I am live. Yes, I am live. So let's see here. Okay, I am live. I'm live. Tell me if you're in other group whether you can get connected. Yes, tell me because let's see. I have to check the other group to see whether I can watch this video. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Let me see something here. Yeah, let me see something here. Okay, see myself here. Let me log out of here and come down here. Yeah, let me see something here. And let's see here. Okay. I'm trying to look for something here. Oh my Lord, Halloween. Halloween. Let's see where I'm in this group. Yes, so I am in the different groups. Yeah, in the different group here. We inside. Yes, I'm in the different group. Yes, I am in the different group here. Yes. So let's see here. Yes, I am in the different group here. Yes. I'm in the different group here. Yes. Okay, so I can see myself here. And I'm sure that you guys can also hear me as well. So let me come here and turn this on. All right. So let me say hi to all my buddies and friends here. So guys, again, welcome to this morning edition of the Table Talk discussion. This is where we come and discuss issue of national concern that is not party related directly, but indirectly is party related. So I will be here to present to you a few things. The main and central topic today, and I'm sure many of you guys watched that video in the past. Today, I have chosen today to come here and analyze that video for you. Why it is true that we are on Facebook, work decency, professional courtesy, good behavior, ethics, moral standard, they all are pointing towards a very good behavior and institution. So today I'm here to analyze for you a conversation that took place between the CEO of Spoon TV and Musa Bereri. It happened last week, and many people have asked me to at least analyze just that conversation. So I have chosen today to be the day that I am going to analyze that video. You see, it is one thing to have popularity, and it is another thing to be very cordial and respectful towards people who come on your show. The fact that you invited somebody on your show, that should mean that you have to show some respect to that individual and not just disrespect the person in the way you feel. If we want our country to move forward, part of the responsibility and some of the things that we need to do is to be able to be very respectful, show good attitude, good behavior to those who come on our show in order for us to have the conversation. I'm not a perfect person, but I do try to live by what I receive and what I get from you guys in terms of feedback. And I take those negative, positive images or feedback comments to improve myself. But if we continue to ignore the behavior of people because we enjoy the pleasure of what they do or what they say, we are not going to be a better society in totality. So that's why I'm here today to bring to you that conversation. But before I do that, Joseph Walker is scheduled to come to the United States if he's already not here. But I want us to listen to an old video of Joseph Walker. Things that were said in that video. Joseph Walker has been out of public office for almost 4 years now. What has he done? But this video will be a reminder. So we'll go through a series of different videos before we come to the main topic today. All right. So we are going to be starting with this. So I look forward to your feedback. All right. So let's start the first video here. All right. By the way, I'm going to present a video today. And I don't know whether Facebook is going to block me today, but I can guarantee you that they may block the video or they may not block me, but that video will be shown to you guys after this show. I watched that documentary. It's a very, very dangerous documentary. I'm not talking about Liberians who are just into politics here. I'm talking about Liberians who live in America here and what Facebook has done to you and me. I'm going to present that video here today. And it will be after this program. I chose to do that after this program. If you believe in privacy, your privacy is on Facebook is already damaged. And I can see a series of class action lawsuits coming Facebook way, if not this year, if not next year. But I believe before the end of this 21st century, Facebook will face a massive lawsuit. But again, it's only for people who are very much concerned about their privacies. And I want you to also invite other people who are also curious about knowing things. So that will take place after the broadcast. All right. So let me progress here. So the first video is going to be that again, we are here to provide teaching, learning, information, not entertainment, not information. I'm not here for those things. All right. So it's all about learning experience. All right. So let's start the first video here. And you're going to see that video here right now.
Something from the bottom of my heart. I'm a mastercratic leader. I control 350 members.
Okay, so let's go by the video back. Let us.
Well, we are staying in Lofa County, like I told you this morning. We are on our way. And, we've been going to towns and villages to interact with the people and disabuse the minds of Liberians that say Lofa County is the stronghold of Joseph Walker. So, a young man just walked up to me and want to express his dissatisfaction on the speculations in Monserrado County. So let me get your name.
My name is Amara M. Trawale Jr. Many people call me Master Warriors, and I'm the chairman and the founder of the movement of the downtrodden youth of Bonjama District.
So, and you walked to me very angry this morning, and what is the reason for that anger that you came to me with?
I'm very desperate, even more than anger, because people sit in Monrovia there and say that this place is already controlled by the Vice President Joseph Boakai. That is a blatant lie. A blatant lie. You know, we the Levians, we are even disappointed over Boakai. We are disappointed in his leadership.
What do you mean you are disappointed? Boakai being a man from Lofa County and you being from Lofa County, then you say you're disappointed. Why are you disappointed?
And that's the thing, in fact, that we mislead us, because he's from Lofa County, so we should vote him in even if he is not qualified for the position.
You mean Boakai is not qualified?
Well, qualification does not have to only deal with education. He got the education, but the experience to move this country forward, he doesn't have it, because he's been on board for the past 12 years. What he didn't do, you anticipate him to do something more than that? That's the area where the disqualification comes in. I'm not saying that he's not educated, but he's not qualified to move this country forward. And the kind of a conception, the kind of a mind the people have in Monrovia there, they sit and say, this place controlled by Joseph Boakai is lie. You know, you know very well we were in Bakedu yesterday. I'm from Bakedu anyway.
Oh, you're from Bakedu?
I'm from Bakedu anyway, the Kodobone district. You know, you were there yesterday and you saw the kind of momentum. You know, and even when George Weah entered the town a couple of days ago, the entire Bonjaman was on fire politically. When Joseph Boakai came, this town was looking like it was even sleeping.
You joking?
You know? I'm not joking. I'm telling you something from the bottom of my heart. I'm a mastercratic leader. I control 315 members of 315 youth in this district. And let me tell you something. Joseph Boakai has no tangibles to point at in Lofa here. If anybody is daring me, let anybody come up and say Joseph Boakai has chicken horse in Fonjama here, not to even talk about building. You understand? You traveled yesterday to Kolahu. Okay, I was even thinking that I said, let the protocol not take the decision for George Weah to go to Foya, because this guy couldn't come back. And that's the hometown row of Joseph Boakai. You saw the row. How it's horrible, very horrendous. You understand? The row is bad, to say the least. You understand? Charity begins at home. If this man cannot do anything for Lofa, he didn't do anything for Lofa for the past 12 years, what do you expect of him? Let's not be joking here, man. Let's not be joking. You know, the driver can change, but the car will still remain. Oh, Madam Salim, Joseph Boakai, they form in the same predicament. We can't elect them for another 24 years. You know, what will we be doing? So you want to tell me that the only one that have the brain to run this country?
So you say, what part of Lofa specifically you from?
I'm from Kwaduboni district. Specifically, I'm from Marvin Konedu. Marvin Konedu is in the Kwaduboni district. It's one of the renowned towns in the Kwaduboni district. I'm not far from the home of Dr. Edward Bian Kesari, the founder of the Unity Party. Unity Party is for Lofians. But Lofians are tired with the Unity Party. You understand? If the Unity Party could have another driver, maybe the sympathizers of Unity Party could be much. If it had gone another driver. But the driver is still the same.
So you say the Lofa citizens are angry with Boakai because you can't point out any tangible, one single tangible.
Nothing of the sort. You know why? Joseph Boakai is associated with people who have already failed this county. You know.
And who are some of those people?
Even every time he comes here, the incumbent, Honorable Mayan Bian Fofana. Honorable Mayan Bian Fofana, my own Madingo sister from Kwaduboni district, has failed this district. We were moving up and down behind her to 2011. But now she failed us and she wants all the game to re-elect her. It can't work. Senator George Tengbe on the United Party ticket. Those are the failures that are behind Joseph Boakai. So I'm sorry, he's not going to go anywhere because the people of Labour County are disenchanted over their leadership. Let not somebody sit down in Monrovia and say Lofa is for Joseph Boakai. You'll be making a very grievous mistake.
So what is your final message to the people? You got hundreds of people.
So let me just take the video down here. The video might be old as you listen to it and saw the image out there. But what I want you to understand are the things the young man said in the video. Joseph Boakai left office since almost 4 years ago. And today there are many people trying to push him to the top and perhaps over the edge. But what I want you to understand here is this. There's something he mentioned. The car can change. The driver can change, but the car remain the same. This Joseph Boakai, as mentioned, has no tangible. And what we need from a leader are things that they will be able to do for the Liberian people that haven't been done for them. Joseph Boakai is still member and head of the Unity Party. But as far as we are concerned, there is no vision, there is no mission, There is no agenda. There is no political party statement or purpose. Least to say, Joseph Boakai ran in 2017. There wasn't any central message for the people of Liberia, meaning what were the problems, what was the solution, and what direction he wanted to take the country into. Joseph Boakai had not defined these things. Many people are emotionally charged because they are fed up with George Weah. But the few who support George Weah and may have a change of mind will continue to do so if George Weah come up with more direction, more agenda to move the country forward. I'm not here to criticize Joe Boakai. I'm not here to praise George Weah. But what I want you to understand here, politics is about coming up with solutions, action plan that will begin to change the people's lives. We are seeing leaders upon leaders who have come and gone, and they will not stop coming. But what I want you to take away from these things that you experience from time to time, your father experienced, your mom experienced, your great-grandfather experienced, your great-grandmother experienced, is the fact that many of the politicians come with no reason to change your life. They only play on your intelligence, especially your emotional intelligence, to make you to understand that the person who is currently in power is not doing the right thing for you. Yes, they are right that the person is not doing the right thing for you. But who are they and what are they bringing? And how does it fit your shoe size with regards to the problem that you're facing in the country? Do you understand these things? I don't see these things happening on Facebook. I don't see this thing happening. I mean, not on Facebook. I see it happening. I mean, I'm trying to correct my thought here. I see Liberians talk show who coming on Facebook and having these pockets of discussion, but they are not laser focused on what you need to understand and what you need to know. They are only judging things and not understanding or giving you the understanding why you should learn these things. Like I always say, I don't live in Liberia and I intend living in Liberia. Why? Because I live in Liberia. I saw what the politician did during my time. That is the time I was growing up. They came with empty promises. Today, many of them, including Eddie Johnson Sirleaf, Dr. Sawyer, they all sitting out in our country right now. And nothing from the time they were young and very active into politics to the old age that they are living in through today, nothing changed in our country. Everything remained the same. So what I can say on my show, whenever I'm here, is to tell you that investing in Liberia is good for you, especially if you want to have a better country and you believe in your politician. Not only should you just believe in the politician, it is time that you take cue from what I'm telling you, that you begin to challenge your political leader, as you call them. Challenge them, let them tell you what are the problems in the country, why the problem hasn't been solved in the past and present, what vision, what approach, and what standard of approach are they going to take to begin to solve that problem, and why should you elect them? I know the information here is very limited to the vast majority of Liberians, and that's why I feel that every time we get into an election, there will always be an error because people are not listening to the rightful people. And if you don't listen to the rightful people that present or give you the right message, you are prone to making mistakes. The evidence are there. Over 174 years, we are not changed. Our environment has not changed. Our country has not changed. But if you look at the money, yes, the financial support from around the world that have been given to our country. If you look at the total money we have received since 1847 to 2021 today, you cannot measure anything in our country that will tell you that that money was used for the intended purpose. It is either going to individuals or it is being misused and misappropriated. And all we have to do is to leave the country and go elsewhere. Let's go to the second video here. All right. So here it is a senator here. All right. This is a senator here. This is Senator Darius Dillon. And let me see what I can do here for you guys. So this is Senator Darius Dillon. I just got the video and I thought to share the video with you. You know, when Darius Dillon won the election, I asked people, what was Darius Dillon's central message during his campaign? Central message is a message that contains between 50 to 100 words. And I tell you from the candidate what they are going to be doing. Darius Dillon is seen today in a community asking some very irrelevant questions to young kids as young as 8 or 10 years old. Question that make no sense. But you will imagine that such question that Dillon asked the kids should have been asked long time ago, and it should have been part of his agenda. But you see, when Liberians get emotionally charged and dislike what is in front of them, they tend to put in office the wrong people. And when you continue to put the wrong people in office, their plan that they don't have will be shown to their inexperience out there. And Jared Dillon is one of the best super example. Let's watch the 2-minute video and get to see the interaction here. All right, so let's play the video here for you guys. I'm trying to get a video to play here, guys. I don't know what happened to the audio here. Let me see what happened to the audio. Okay. I think I know what's going on with the audio here. Let me see. It wants me to play it in real time, and I think I have to do that. So in order to do that, I will have to do something carefully here. All right. Again, the software is not like the other software that I use. So let's see how this is going to play out. So let me go and get that video again for you guys here. And it will be coming up very shortly here for you guys. So let me get that video here. Just be patient with me. Let's see here. All right, so let me get that directly on. Oh, there it is right here. Okay, so I got that video for you guys. And let's see, it's loading up. So I'm going to... Oh, I just removed that video. So I just removed that video, the active one. And let's see here again. All right, let's see whether this one will play again. Let's see. It should be able to play, guys. Let's see. Let's see here. All right, so this is the dead one here. I'm going to remove the dead one and go back for the live one. All right. This video doesn't store things in memory from what I'm learning here. It doesn't store things in memory. So I'm going to remove this one from here. Remove video from studio. And I'm going to go back for the video now. So let's go back for the video. And let's listen to Mr. Dillon. The video is right here. So listen to Mr. Dillon here. The video is loading up and wants to get going. So guys, you are watching Darius Dillon is in a community, and as you can see, this is the problem we have in the country. Many young people today are in the country. Let me just try to straighten this out right here like this. So there are many young children as young as 5, 10, 15 years old in the country. And you can see them from that video. There is no future for them in our country. But these are the young people that will take charge of the future of Liberia tomorrow. While other countries are preparing nursery education, elementary education, junior high education, you see the faces of the young people. There's no hope for them. Because the people that their parents are electing, the people we have on Facebook who got the control over their parents, are not giving them the pathway to understanding why the future of the young generation will play a very important role in years to come. Nevertheless, while they are misinforming the parents to make the wrong decision, their children are in other countries living better life, acquiring better education. But they are using the young children, parents, just for political gain, but at the same time, they are hurting the future of the country. And when that future comes, their children will be ready, and the young people, the young kids you see here, will not be ready. And that will put a burden on you who love Liberia, who wants to go back to Liberia to do what you think is best for the country. But we have representatives, we have senators who go out in the public and engage the public, asking them to vote for them. But what is missing in what the people don't know, it is the message that these candidates are not providing to the people. They are misinforming the people. They are not giving them the information. And all they need is just to get elected. And if they do get elected, in the case of Darius Dillon, there is absolutely nothing he has done for the people of Moscow County. So he gets very bold because he has no plan to work on. He comes out Sunday morning in the street and start to engage the young people. But engaging them, I have to say that he is a candidate running for an office rather than being a sitting senator that should be putting in place programs, working with the city mayor of Monrovia, working with the superintendent of the Moscow County, working with his counterpart, Sir Joseph, working with his friends, the government, that is the executive, to see how best the lives of the people of Moscow County can, to some extent, improve across every community. He's not doing those things. And you also listen to people on Facebook who will not come here to tell you these things. All they want you to hear is just political gossip. So let's watch the video here, all right, and listen to Dillon here. You see, guys, I don't mean to cut the video off, but when I listen to the senator, all right, when I listen to Senator Dillon asking the young children, you want to go to school, you know what that tell me? When Dillon decided to run for the senatorial position of Moscow County, he did not run on any issue. Yes. When Senator Darius Dillon decided to run for the open seat in Moscow County as senator, from what I'm seeing Dillon doing here, he did not run on any issue. The fact that Dillon is asking the young kids, you want to go to school, what does that tell me about Dillon research in regards to children in this county that are not going to school? You see, when you want to become a politician, you must have a team of people who are very researchful, because by then you would have known the percentage of school age kids between 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20 that are in school or that are not in school. And why they're not in school, you'll be able to capture the community across the country. They didn't do all those things. And that's the same thing today that is happening with the politicians that want to be president today. They got people who talk for them, but they are not giving the data, the facts out there for Liberians to understand where we stand in terms of capacity building, where we stand in terms of our economics, where we stand in terms of security, where we stand in terms of healthcare. They are not getting or capturing the data. So to see Dillon's city order, and standing before the little kids and asking them, you want to go to school? Anyone who sees that video and really understand what the role of a leader is supposed to be, we automatically assume that Dillon is an advocate. He holds no public position, and he only trying to ascertain or obtain information just by walking through the community. We cannot live like that, folks. We have come a long way as a country and people. But it's going to be very difficult for things to turn the way we are expecting it to turn, because the reality there is people who are in authority, people who support these guys, they are not there to support what the real agenda is. They are supporting them because they want to be in their corner. They are supporting them not because of any national agenda, but because of personal agenda. So let me progress here and listen to Dillon here more, right?
not going to school? You want to go to school first? What class you in? Yeah. First grade? Yeah. What you been in here? Who you living with? Your mom? What is she doing? Yeah. What did she tell you? She said, let's make money for you to go to school. Where am I? Now well? Your mom here? What are you living here? Okay. You're not far from here? I want to come here? I want to go home?
I mean, guys, I want you to I want you to look at the kids, all right? I want you to take a good look at the kids, all right? 20 years from now, the kids are in age group of 5 to 10 years old. 20 years from now, the 5-year-old will be 25. 20 years from now, the 10 years old will be what? 30 years old. What future do they have in our country? When you have a city senator standing over there and looking at the kids and telling them, oh, RAT is rat, rather than you asking the child to spell all the words, but you spitting the word out of your mouth and expecting the child to spell the words. That's completely making mockery of these young children. And they don't know these things. But because, you see, Liberians are always making their own choices, even on Facebook, even on other social platforms, because they don't want to understand the right thing that happened. And I will say this to you guys. We will listen, we will watch all the different talk shows, but in the end, we will not have anything. Tomorrow is November the 1st. And you see DeLon on the 31st day of October, the last day in the month of October. Rather than DeLon coming out to provide us with some sort of report of his performance for the year so far, DeLon is now going on the street and seeing the problem that his community, that his county has, and now he wants you to see the problem and want you to understand that this is the problem. But indeed, he campaigned that he wanted to be senator. But while campaigning, he did not present anything that will give you the reason to say, yes, DeLon wants to change things around. Yeah, it's the problem right before you here. DeLon should be coming on the media or on this platform or on Facebook, presenting you with information as to how much he's doing to improve the lives of the young children as senator of the county. DeLon does not have a Facebook page that tells you what are the issues that matter the most to him. Healthcare, education, gender equality, the environment. There is no website that you can find. And this is not only limited to DeLon, but because DeLon is the laser focus on our table right now, that's why I'm putting all these things on him. Not that I don't want to talk about other people. Here's the problem here that DeLon is facing, and he got no solution. Why the children not going to school? That should be DeLon to answer this question. Because DeLon represents the county. DeLon should be able to collect the information from all the communities across Muscle County and present that to the Senate committee and present that to the executive to see what he can do or what he's advocating for to make sure and to ensure that these children get the best. DeLon kids are not having this problem or not facing this problem. So why did he become a senator when he doesn't have a plan to address these things? You feel me now, folks? But that's Liberia there for us. So let's wrap the video up quick and go to the next one.
Oh, you can come together. They're all far from here? Not far from here. You want to go to school? Yeah? What kind of school you are going to? What is school? Yeah,
Now, listen to one of the stupid questions Dylan is asking. And I think I agree with Noble Kids. Noble Kids, you are absolutely right. He doesn't care. How can you ask a child like this, how much is the school fee? Folks, does that really make sense to you? These are kids that don't understand how the real world works for them. Their parents are the one who's supposed to be responsible to pay their school fees. Now, you live wherever you live. Can you ask a child of this age across the globe that direct question, even if they know it or not? But are they the one that should be, no question should be sent or asked to? No. So I think, Noble Kids, you are right. You know, we can tell that he doesn't care. Rather than he asking the kids, where are your parents? I need to have some town hall meeting with the parents. He doesn't care. The man is getting what he wants, and that's it. That's it there, folks. That's it. So yeah, Noble Care, you're right. So listen to him and let's wrap it up, folks. Let's wrap it up. All right, so there we go. There we go. So there we go. Do you really see sense in those things? Do you really see sense in that thing that Dorothy don't just said? But you see, most of the people on Facebook, their children don't live in Liberia. They don't live in Liberia. They come on a different platform and just enjoy themselves. But the state, the country they live in, the representatives in those places don't go up to the kids. They put plan together and have town hall meeting with the parents and challenge the school board, challenge the institution in the community to make sure and ensure that the children got better education. But that's the control we got, folks. That's the control we got. So let's play the next video here. And then right after that, we will be coming on to the video of the day. And then we'll have one more video. All right. So this video that's coming up, it's a very sad one.
Organization of DA, the government will look at it and limit to be.
So this is a guy who is subdued and induced in using drugs. And he has something for you to listen to. You see, every condition in our country is worst. All the condition in our country, you know, there are times that you should measure certain conditions. Yes. There are times that we tend to measure condition based on the severity of the condition, whether it is a low condition, whether it is a medium condition, or it is a high condition. Most of the conditions in Liberia don't fit in our three categories. They have a third category and are a worst, the worst condition. That's what Liberia is in. Every situation in the country is worst. And you know how it works? You will not believe me because the way I perceive it is not the way you perceive it. I look at it from a data standpoint, and you only look at it from what people tell you. And that's why I'm glad that you guys are here for us to have the conversation. Those who see it from just what they hear, I don't see it that way. So let's listen to this guy who wants to be. Listen to what he about to say. And then, but just in case you're wondering, right after the video, we are going to analyze Mr. Witherspoon. Mr. Stanton Witherspoon, the so-called CEO of Spoon TV, the way he addressed Musa Berere. I am about to critique that interaction, and I want you to have an open mind here. I'm going to take a professional approach to how I'm going to present that interaction and do what we call cover an over discussion of how the discussion went. So let's listen to this, and then after that, we'll be going after. We'll be going and bringing that video for you. So let's listen right now here. All right.
Because why the DA people running behind us, beating us, it's not all getting jobs, it's the BB people. So when you get rid of the people who come, from when they come from the airport, who bring their sustenance, if you get them and they trust them and be given to them, that anything they do, they must send them to jail. If they do it wrong, will be relaxed.
That one he's right. That one he's absolutely right. That one he's absolutely right. What the guy is telling you, he may be a drug addict, he may be a drug user, but the words that are coming out of his mouth, if you understand how to stop things from the source, if you cut yourself, you might want to stop the bleeding for you to not lose blood and die. The source of the drugs that come to Liberia is where the guy is directing you and I to focus. Because if you stop the source, it will not come to the communities in the country. That happened even in the United States. Drug come through the different border points of the United States. And that way you got DEA agent all around the borderline trying to stop the high level of entry of drugs into the country. So if we have an airport, we got seaport, and we got other border entries, and we don't have the proper measure in place, those who see the country as an opportunity, they will utilize it. Yes, they will utilize it. And that's what will happen. And that's what he's doing. You see, we shouldn't just strike the guys down, but we should learn to understand what sense they are making and how can we address that. And how can we address that? All right? So let's listen to him more.
Just will not enter the country. But if the Nigerian bring a job, you DA man, inspector or commander, you transport that man job and take it and put it in your car and blow serene and pass with it. And then make money. They drop me on sick, then you can't you beat off. You die in your hand. The government not doing nothing. You need to talk about it. They can go on the YouTube media for us to talk about it. I think people will come around us.
So that's a challenge out there. That's a challenge from this guy, that the government is not doing anything. He's right. I mean, his observation is telling him from what he experienced daily, from what he sees his colleagues and other friends experience daily, he knows that the government is not doing anything because he pointed out to the source as to where the drugs come in, like to Noble point here. And guys, just so you know, we are broadcasting on YouTube as well. We are on Twitch, and Noble is one of the guys, as you can see below here. You see the YouTube red button down there. He's watching the show on YouTube. Like I said, I'm taking this show now to the next level, and this information is not only limited to Liberians, it's going worldwide. So whatever I say here in regards to Liberia, the world going to start to hear these things now, because I feel that the community of Liberians just on Facebook are not getting the message in its totality. But when you get a message, you got to process the message. So this broadcast now, as you can see here, article who brings the drugs in the country, my good friend Noble Kate, is now on YouTube. So you can find me on YouTube, subscribe to that, and then we will share. Because right now this thing is going public, and if you're out there, Noble Kids, please do your best. Share the same thing on the different network, on YouTube and other places, because we must take a very professional approach to educate our people, to inform the world at large that there are things happening in Liberia, and it's not only Liberians that are going to solve the problem. We must present this information to the public out there and to the world to get to understand. So yes, very valid question. Who bring the drugs in the country? That's a very valid question there. And we also should understand what is also happening in the country. So let me just show another comment here from my brother here. All right. He said, I was mad when I see a big pack of drug. Yes, he said he was very mad when he saw a drug. So thank you so much, bro. Thank you. So let's go back to the video here quickly here, because the next video coming out is going to be
labor up to 10 them. So we have to know about the thing. Because they imagine the director, the director, OPN know about trust? No, man.
You see, one thing I noticed about the US and other top countries, when they want to track down the warlord, they go in the midst of the drug user to understand what is going on. This guy is giving relevant information, but I believe the DEA, the police, whoever is in charge, are ensuring the safety of our community and our country. They're not going to listen to these guys because they don't care. When he said the president should be aware of this, yes, the agent, DEA agent, should be able to give the president. And let me just say this. I don't know whoever worked in the sector of our national security, like in America here, and I will use America because this is where I live, that's all I see, that's all I know. And there's nothing wrong with me explaining things that happen in the USA, because Liberians can dress the American. Liberian want to behave like the American. The culture of America is partly being practiced in Liberia. So there's no reason why at the executive level, at the national security level in America, that should limit me from saying or making some comparison or example of things. In America here, every morning the President of the United States is briefed by the Central Intelligence Agency. I don't know what something of that nature happens in Liberia to the executive branch. We had the NSA, we got all the different security apparatus. I don't know where to bring the president up to speed as to what is unfolding on a daily basis, the prior day, the incoming day, the prior month, the incoming month. Whether the president is being briefed on these things then here, I don't know. But what I do know, there are institutions that's supposed to be around the president giving him an update. The president is now heading to Glasgow in Europe to attend the climate change summit. Now, one day have I seen any environmental council around the president? Yes. In the EPA document that established the EPA, the president of Liberia should have a council of environmental professionals who's supposed to give him counsel on the environment. In other documents, such as the national security, the president should also have security advisors. But I don't know what are these things. So I'm a little bit concerned, worried about why the president, but that will be another topic we'll discuss another time. So I don't want to just, but because the young man is talking about the president needs to know something about the drugs in the country, that is why my mind is just opening up to give some of this information to you. But I will limit my mind to not expanding to the orbital of professional people as it relates to the different sector that make our country to be a member of the global community when it comes to solving global issue. I'm not going to expand my knowledge to that, but we'll just limit it to the DEA issue here. So let me progress here and come to the next video here.
The people Baba Lunsta à la temps. I mean, yeah, second, yeah. People, man, you can meet all of DA 10 men. Look at, we want a director of DA to look here, no about jobs, or quantity of jobs. It means that you pass 2A. In case that you don't know about it, me want to know about the judge when I arrest it. I can talk to you. I can use also power because you don't know about it. And through the justice, it's not both level to say that if we know, you got to know about the jobs, you got to know about the quantity of the job before you know. And you understand? So I tell my Liberian people, you got to put hands together. Yeah.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I'm back. Sorry for that interruption. So I'm back. All right. So it is now time. So let me remove the video here. So remove from studio. So it is now time to analyze this video.
That's now, our other neighbor. He got a job.
I will say this to you guys. I don't give a damn what I'm about to say or describe of the video. I'm not here to please your emotional feelings. I'm here to inform your intellectual intellect. Because as professionals in this country and elsewhere, work decency is the art, practice, and behavior of everyone to provide a decent or create a decent environment to have conversation, because the purpose of the conversation is to either exchange knowledge or give knowledge to people. But if you have individual that you guys take to be CEO, CDs, and they are behaving very unprofessionally, some of us here will come here to let you know that that's not the way things are done or things are supposed to be done. So the interaction between Mr. Musa Beledi and Mr. Stanton Witherspoon, it was very unprofessional. And I'm going to make sure that you understand exactly what you did not catch on that interaction. I'm going to make sure that I present that to you. That's not how professional people behave. That's not how CEO behave. There are different kinds of CEO, and all CEO are not created equal. They got a fake CEO, they got an inexperienced CEO, they got an unqualified CEO, and they got the most experienced CEO. I don't know what category this guy is going to be in after the show, after the discussion, but you will be the one to make that classification. I'm only here to present to you the results. the facts, the analysis. So are you ready? Let's get it rolling right now. All right. So I'm going to change it this way, and we are going to move it a little bit forward. All right. And we're going to play that
together. This is a missed opportunity here. And I don't think leaders even should be coming out.
Request to use. If you, these are the leadership structure of the Liberty Party. Show me.
So for most of you guys who watched the video, you know exactly how it went. So I'm trying to get to where Mr. Witherspoon came on the platform. All right. So let's keep rolling the tape.
The next day,
came out false.
Until you can answer that question, the question.
Even in spite of all the things, I don't even think that anyone has accused me of being disrespectful for women. Well, first, the fencing on the first question,
so we keep it at this point because I want to see the introduction, and I also want you to see the introduction, and then once the CEO comes in, I will begin, and you will also be with me to listen to how the conversation started. All right. And then it's going to be a stop and go, because we are trying to look at the CEO work ethics, his professional behavior, his code of conduct, and his personal discipline. You see, men supposed to be logical. Men supposed to be logical in how we approach things and not emotional. But I think many of us are more emotional than being very logical. So let's listen to this, all right?
I appreciate how you feel, but I think you should also express the same feeling to Youngly for as a political leader, that at first instant, that the only reaction she can get to that, where the party has not written the formal communication, the party has not written a formal response to anything, and her only reaction was to go to the media. I think it's also fair to me that you should also express disappointment in that action of hers.
I actually agree with you. I agree with you on that point too.
Yes, because as a leader, there's you don't have to react the same way you will consider people to adopt. That's a hallmark of leadership.
I agree.
Yes. The second thing is, first of all, I don't even think that anyone has accused me of not respecting women. I have believed in women. The thing that I hold in my life, as my whole life depends on, is my company. My company is not only run by women. My company have 7 senior managerial positions.
So guys, the CEO just appeared. And this is where I want you to get your guide. Again, I'm not here to bring you back to the entertainment you had on the show that day. No. This is where specialty comes in, and this is where analysis comes in. So I want you to focus on what we're going to analyze. Like I said, keep the emotion out there. Leave the emotion out there. This is where the intellectual feelings comes in to address the unprofessional behavior. So there go the CEO. He came in. So we're going to look at his body language. What I'm trying to prove to you here, that this CEO is a very, very unprofessional individual. He has no work ethic at all. He's not logical, but very emotional. And I want you to take this lesson learned from his bad behavior, so that when the time comes and you are given an opportunity to be CEO or something else, that you will not fall prey to anything that you don't understand. Instead of understanding it, you inject your emotion into it. And that's exactly what he did here. So he's on the show now. I'm going to keep myself in the lower corner so that we can begin. As long as you can hear me, that's all that matters. Because the words that will be coming out of my mouth will be touching on key things. So he just appeared. Now, who is in charge of the show here? I believe it is this guy here wearing this African hat here. All right. He is the one who's the moderator. And as the moderator, he controls the show. You see, in the United States, when you are in charge of a region, when you are in charge of a program, what we do here, we are all given the opportunity to have our say. All right. Say, for example, whenever we go for a meeting and there are panelists that are supposed to speak, whoever is chairing that meeting will give everybody the opportunity to have their say. No one will just jump in the middle of the meeting and want to be the bigger elephant in the room. And that's where the term comes in, bigger elephant in the room. When you claim to be the biggest elephant in the room, that means you are showing disrespect to others who are on the panel. And sometimes you lose good and professional people in the process. Sometimes you lose investor, stakeholder in the company. And that's why as a CEO, you make sure that you give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But this individual, he did not exhibit such discipline. I don't watch their show, but when you guys who believe in what I do, send me the video and say, look, J. Randy, I want you to share your opinion on what happened. That when I come in to take my time and analyze it. So let me say thank you to all those who sent me this video. I tell you what, more than 5 people who sent me the video and wanted me to analyze the interaction with Musa Belede and Mr. Witherspoon. You see, it is not the name that given to you that define who you are. It is the behavior that you exhibit, that you show to people that define who you are. And this guy, he got a very aggressive and emotional problem. And I want you to understand, and I want you to see it today through my eyes, that he's not the individual you think he is. I'm not going after him personally. I'm just trying to tell you that the CEO title he has, it doesn't represent the characteristic of a CEO. No. All right? So let me progress here. Let me progress.
Including the CEO, the chief operating officer, the chief administrative officer, the chief transport officer, the chief logistic officer, they're all women. I have 7 people running the company that belongs to me. 5 of them are women. Okay? At the executive committee of the Liberty Party, we have some of the strongest women in the country in Liberian politics. I have done everything in my consideration. So even in spite of all the things, I don't even think that anyone has accused me of being disrespectful to women. It is just not in my character.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you. So we first of all would like to welcome our CEO, Stanton Witherspoon, back to the. He just came to jump in and jump out. So don't worry, he's just jumping in and jumping out. We'd like to welcome our CEO, who has been listening. I'm sure he's been flying from Paris to Washington D.C. to the White House and other places. So I'd like to welcome him back. You know, he took a private plane just to be on the show. But CEO, welcome.
So I will hold you there now. So he has been introduced, giving all the different titles, trying to impress their audience, which is good. I ain't got no problem with that, which is good. Sometimes you got to blow somebody horn for them to feel good about themselves. And I don't blame the moderator for setting the stage, putting him on such a pedestal. But to the greatest surprise, with all that beautiful introduction, putting him on a pedestal. You know, they say, don't praise the white chicken. When you hear that parable from Liberia, do not praise a white chicken. They make this guy to be the white chicken on this show. But now listen to what and how he's going to approach the issue. Let me progress.
Thank you very much. Abdullah, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yes, since 1847, right?
Well, yeah, 18. Since the best CEO said 1822 got a basketball.
Thank you very much, Abdullah. Musa, Chairman, thank you very much for accepting the invite and joining us tonight. Yes, indeed. I was traveling recklessly because I had to come and talk to Musa Belede, and with everything that is going on. Missed the show yesterday, but I'm glad to be here today. Thanks to all our followers. And, you know, we do what we do best by the grace of God to give you the information.
All right. So he said he was driving recklessly. So that tell you the reckless driving he was doing out there, putting people's life at risk. He could have caused an accident that could even impact him or impact other people. Why do you think he was so emotionally charged in the traffic just to get here? Just watch. You're going to see the reason why. All right? Let me progress.
I have just can I ask my question real quick?
Of course, of course.
Thank you very much, because you kept talking about you moderating tonight. And
okay, so he made you to understand that he has a question, right? Yeah, he has. So what we're doing here is we are taking a linear approach. We are doing what we call a fish bone. We're taking every skill of the fish so that we can get to the actual flesh of the fish. And we're not getting the knife and just scraping the fish like that. No, 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 no. We are doing it very carefully. I have to say that the fish is not dead, but we are carrying on a surgical procedures, even though we are not fish doctor. However, in the analysis of breaking things down, there are certain strategies you use, and one of the strategies is what we call the fish bone analysis. We're going to take out the flesh of the fish. We're going to remove the scale first. We're going to take the flesh out, and then we're going to take every bone out to actually see the skeleton of the fish. And that's the approach we're taking here. He drove where? Roughly and aggressively in the traffic. Now he got to the studio. He said he has one question because he's not a moderator. But let's see what that one question is going to do. What is the risk of the one question? What impact, what damage is it going to do for this show? And how did you walk away knowing that one question, when they say one rotten apple destroy the rest of the other apple, this is what you're about to see here right now.
I think Musa was off with his math, and I just figured out that probably he didn't do calculus in school. When he said it has 70,
What does it mean by calculus? I don't understand. What does it mean by calculus? Now, let me explain this thing to you guys here, all right? I don't know what he meant by calculus. There are certain times when you listen on CNN and you hear people trying to say the calculus, the chemistry doesn't work. Musa ability is looking at numbers. Numbers, he adding, he's subtracting. That's not calculus. When Musa ability is giving you a figure out there. And again, folks, I'm not here to defend Musa ability. What I want you to understand from me here is, as Liberians, whether we bad, we good, and we try to present ourselves, I want you to understand the objectivities of why we do things the way we do things. And as Liberians, if we are presenting ourselves as Liberians with a name on our DNA as Liberians, and if I see things going wrong, whether you for CPP, you for Unity Party, you for whatever, it is my responsibility, my civil duty to come here and make sure that I align things the way it's supposed to be. So I'm not here to support Musa ability. I'm only here to describe for you the interaction that took place between Witherspoon and Mr. Ability. It did not present the characteristic of all Liberians. Stanton Witherspoon behavior, as the show goes, many of you go on that show, a behavior is not a representation of many Liberians. And some will say, you know what, I'm going to zip it up. I'm not going to say anything. But J. Randy will not zip it up because I see that as an insult to our intelligence as Liberians. So Musa ability in the course of the broadcast made some comparison. And I'm sure many of you guys that watched that show, he was trying to make a number about how many people plus how many people equal certain people in that thing we call a arithmetic operation. That is arithmetic. I'm sure many of you guys have forgotten that name, arithmetic, but it is another name of mathematics. Arithmetic operation is where you do subtraction, addition, multiplication. So when he said calculus, that is bull crap. Yes, that is bull crap, because calculus is a way advanced level. You play with numbers and letters. Most ability is only talking about what? Numbers. 13 people and 14 people. So when Mr. Witherspoon come here and tell you, oh, I don't think the calculus right. You see, you guys know, some of you guys. And that's one of the reasons why they are afraid of some intelligent Liberians, because they know the words that they speak out of their mouth, some of us will fact check them. When somebody tell you, when I tell you that I got 3 or 4 cell phones here, all right, I'm telling you that the total count of my cell phone here
It's 3. All right? It's 3. There is no calculus here. There is no calculus that I'm telling you. So when he tell Musa Bedete, I don't think the calculus is right. He don't know a damn thing that he's talking about. But that's how they fool many of you Liberians out there who believe in these guys, because you don't understand. And I'm glad a few of you guys are coming here to listen here. Don't let nobody, don't go on the street there and somebody tell you, say, I got 30 cases of bottle here and 20 cases of plastic here, and you tell the person the calculus don't are right. No, no. Tell them, say the math is not making sense. That would be the simplest thing you can say. So rather than he's saying, oh, I don't think your math makes sense, he's talking about calculus. That's not the definition of calculus. You got to go do your own research. All right? So let's listen to him here again. Let's listen to him more.
The leadership was 70, but he counted and he missed the math, 24, something, 11.
Now, you see the mistake he made over there. He spoke about calculus. Now he's talking about the counting. Calculus is not about counting. Calculus is about integrating numbers. It's about integrating numbers. So that's why he made that big mistake. And it's an embarrassment for him over there. It's an embarrassment. Like I said, keep your emotion out of this discussion and only come in with your intellectualism for us to have the kind of discussion. Because these are some of the reasons why many Liberians keep making errors out there. Because they have been misinformed by some of these guys. All right? So let me progress here.
But it's okay, Musa. I mean, you can miss the math, but you will not miss your money because you're one of Liberia wealthy.
Now, you see what he's doing to the guy? He literally trying to embarrass this man. You don't know the math, but you don't know the money. As a CEO who is on a platform, you don't come with no kind of belittle comment towards people. Now you see the reason why he was emotionally charged, whizzing his way in the traffic, because he had a very negative intent towards Musa Bedete. What's the big deal to say, Musa Bedete, can you please reiterate the numbers you are making out so I can understand? Because he said he listened to the man while he was driving, but I can tell you that while he was in that traffic driving, he had two attention. One, he was listening to what was being said on the show, and he was driving. So he had an undivided attention. His attention was split into two. Now he gets to the studio. Instead of asking Musa, yeah, I listened to you, and here are a few questions, or here is the question I have for you. The math you are trying to make, or the number you are trying to make, would you mind repeating the number for me? He didn't do it. He jumped into the conclusion that the man number is wrong. He jumped into the conclusion that the man math is not making sense, but the man is making money. That's not how a CEO is supposed to behave. That's your CEO. That's not my CEO. Because I know a real CEO will not be putting himself in such an embarrassment or in such a situation that will cause other people to look at him very funny. Yes. But that's your country there. That's your people there. That's not my kind of individual like that. No. Okay, let me progress here, folks.
Person. So let's get to the question about this thing. Let's get to this thing. My question, I'm kind of confused, Chairman, and a lot of people confused. Is there still a Liberty Party to reckon with?
Damn, man, come on. You know I'm not going to answer that question. That question is provocative and unacceptable.
No, yes. No, it's not. It's not.
Yes, see, Musa is right. It's a very provocative question. Very tempting question. Musa is right. You see, the CEO, he may be your CEO, but he looks very dumb and stupid. You cannot ask someone such a question, is there a Liberty Party? You are trying to what? Erase the image of Liberty Party. That's what he's trying to do. And Musa is not going to buy that from him. He's not going to buy that from him. He's not going to buy such an idea from him to say there is no Liberty Party. You see, when these guys continue to use you guys, you need to be able to open your minds to understand. The issue is not dissolving the party. It is a role play or a cross function. So the question you should be asking Musa Bedete here
what is your role in the party? What is your responsibility in the party? What is the role of Nomli Kanga, and what are her responsibility? And then many people he talk about that are having the confused mind, Musa Belede will be able to explain to him what his role and functions are, what is the role of Nomli Kanga and her function, and from that you can begin to draw question now and develop in the mind of your audience what actually happening between Musa Belede and Nomli Kanga. But for you to kind of say, hey, does the Liberty Party exist? That's stupidity. That is one of the stupid questions that this guy, your CEO, has ever been able. You see, this guy just need to sit in the background and perhaps be like Dr. Peabody, listen more and talk less. But he has become emboldened. He thinks that the people who listen to him right now, that he's on top of them. That's how he feels. That he's on top of them. So he come and ask dumb question, even though question I never asked is considered to be dumb question. Nevertheless, there are some questions you ask that is very dumb, and that defines who he is. But I think Musa was very smart to put a little resistance to that question. So let's listen to Musa here.
Musa, can I ask me that question? Because you know that there's a Liberty Party, and you cannot ask me whether there is still.
I will ask you the question because a lot of people are concerned.
If there was no Liberty Party, I would not be sitting down here.
Thank you. Now, a lot of Liberian people are concerned. But what are they concerned? What is the substance of the Liberian people concerned? Are you hearing the Liberians saying that there is no Liberty Party, or are you hearing that Musa Belede is overstepping his boundary? Is it about a party, or is it about an individual trying to do something different? That's what the guy don't understand. And that shows his limitation to how he wants to ask this question because he has no experience. Stay in your lane. So he's already beginning to embarrass himself. He's already beginning to fuel the fire. He's already beginning to spark something to turn into what it would turn into. The question was wrong. The question was absolutely wrong. And that's what Musa is trying to tell him, look, there is a Liberty Party. I want you to understand that first. But because Musa had corrected him, his ego is allowing and controlling his intellect. Because right now, his ego is very hard. He's very, very emotionally charged. And his logical approach to things is so low that he will not listen to Musa, and things will spark out of control and will turn into a very large explosion, as you will watch very soon.
And you know
that's what people are trying to figure out. Why are you and the political leader? No, listen now, Chairman. Why are you and the political leader? Why are you and the political leader can get along? You are the two adults in the room when it comes to Liberty Party. I'm hearing you saying that, oh, she traveled. Listen, I got to ask you my question. Let me answer the question now. No.
You see, he's so emotionally charged and just keep repeating himself. You ask question, why you and the political leader cannot get along? And the guy is attempting to answer the question. And I want to ask my question. You see, it's not the way how people dress. It's not the way how people look. It's not the title you give to them. It is the common sense that comes from their head that they try to tell you. It's the common sense. It's the common sense. That's why it is. You know, I'm sorry that you guys are feeling bad, but this is what we call a broad daylight analysis. I know you guys are not used to these things. Yes, I know. And that's one of the reasons why you find few Liberians abroad are excelling and the many Liberians are not doing so well, because such a situation like this, many Liberians will fail the test. Yes, many Liberians will fail the test. So I know it's difficult, but that's why it is, folks. So let's listen more.
No, let me learn, Chairman. Let me learn. They are saying to you. No, I ain't kind again. Let's ask some good question here. These guys not playing around with you because you'll be having tea with Abdullah tomorrow at Royal. So let's just have this thing going. But listen, Musa, then let's just be straight for a minute though. Only you and Yombly political leader, chairman. Why you guys can come along? Why you guys can put this thing together?
Now, you see, he keep close, but he's been blindsided because he's not really politically vast. When he mentioned Nomli Kanga and Musa Berede, right there he should have said, can you explain to the concerned Liberians what is your role and responsibility within the party, and what is the role and responsibility of the political leader, and leave it as that, and let Musa Berede break his neck, so that way you out there can get to know. Because think about a football game. A guy that playing number 2, number 3 cannot go in the goal to hold the ball with his hands. That's not his role. That is why everyone on the field got their own position to play. If he had asked Musa Berede that question to say, tell me, what is your role and responsibility? What is Nomli Kanga's role and responsibility? That way, it will give you the sense as to whether Musa is dominating things in the party, or Nomli is doing things that is stepping on Musa Berede's role. Then that way, with the two discretion of the two individuals, you will be able to determine who is doing the wrong thing and who is not doing the right thing. But he's not asking no question. He's coming and directly attacking Musa Berede, starting with the party that says why you don't get along with Musa Berede. I mean, with Nomli Kanga. I don't think that is the approach that he should have taken already. But again, that's your CEO over there.
For the sake of the party, you said she was traveling. She told me she returned. She didn't say anything. It's like a boyfriend and a girlfriend having a misunderstanding, but who just left the house and not texting each other to say, honey, how are you? This is Liberty Party we're talking about. You knew she returned to the country. Forget all the pride and ego. You knew very well that you were inviting Cummings on your party ground. You were right when you said, I don't need to announce it. Cummings needs no invite to come to Liberty Party compound. You were right. But they asked about the courtesy. Political leader will be hosting Cummings. Why couldn't you do that? Why you guys can't drop your pride and work as an adult in the room?
All right. So before I answer your question, let me correct you.
Yes, sir.
Brother, I went to school. I know how to do math. You're not gonna lecture me here.
Maybe you don't know calculus.
You see that? So Musa Berede stuck to the first humiliation he brought on him. And as professional, let me say this. Musa Berede had gone through a down the hill battle. And there's no doubt in my mind that his suspension and fine from FIFA, that his expulsion from CAF, a 10-year ban, I think Musa had learned a great deal of lesson as to what happens to him based on the decision he made. And I think he's learning now how to be a new person. And I'm only basing that partly on how he conduct himself on the interview. And again, I'm not here to support, because I know many of you guys out there, y'all will be thinking, oh, because the man talking about Musa Berede, I don't know Musa Berede from no goddamn way. I haven't spoken to the man. He don't even know I exist. Likewise, the CEO, they don't even know I exist. But I'm only trying to do what I do best, is to analyze this thing based on behavior analysis and behavior profile of individuals. So I'm not here to back anybody. I'm going to give you the facts. Because I am trained in this country that when you do something bad, you come out of it with a new attitude and a new behavior to prevent it from happening to you. And from how Musa Berede is addressing this question, going back, he just told the man, look, don't humiliate me here. I know math. But he telling the man, you don't know calculus. What the calculus has to do with 2 + 2 = 4? How much calculus did the guy do too? You're the mathematician out there. Why is a profession anyway? Is he an engineer? Is he a physicist? Is he a chemist? I don't know. But why do you have to bring, if somebody gave you a figure, addition, and you say the man don't know calculus, the man trying to tell you, oh, I know math. Then you tell him, you don't know calculus. That's one of the stupidest things over there. One of the stupidest things. And he just made himself to look very dumb to intellectual people. And I'm sure some of the people on the panel, they get to know that he's a very, very unprofessional guy. That's how I see it. And look at the face of the people. Look at the face of the people. That tell you that they're not even happy with what he's saying. He making ass out of himself.
Let me answer. I told you the leadership structure of the Liberty Party.
You said there was 70, but you named 62.
But let me read it to you now.
I want you to read it.
Now, why he keep interrupting the man? I think the guy was under some type of influence. I don't think he was himself. If you ask me honestly, I think he was under some type of influence. I don't know what he does. I think he was under some type of influence. Calculus got nothing to do with adding numbers. He doesn't know that. Somebody who is close to him need to lecture him about what Musa Belede was doing. It was nothing but addition and a false honor, a romantic operation. It had nothing to do with calculus. It had nothing to do with differential. It had nothing to do with whatever you want to think about in terms of high-level mathematics. But many come to teach calculus. He come to teach, and he only giving you numbers, and you come at them, man, don't know calculus. That's how fucked up some of these guys are. But many librarians believe in the drama, they believe in the entertainment, and they don't tend to catch the most important things. And that's why I'm here to present it to you guys. All right?
Leadership. No. You can't make a statement. I will not answer to you. The county leadership is 30. The executive committee is 27. The advisory council is 11. And the political leader. So you do the math and come.
Thank you. Does that thing look like differentiation? Because when you actually doing calculus, you are differentiating. You're taking one number or you put in one number back. Does that really look like it? No. The man wouldn't give a group of addition of numbers, 30, 27, and a political leader. Where are the calculus coming from? Where the calculus coming from? Where's the calculus coming from? I read a piece of Liberians. Yes. Our capacity, our learning bar is so low that such a guy like that would just come and just want to play on the Liberian people's mind, and some of you guys would just buy those things. So Musa just gave you the numbers now. But you think you'll be honest to say, yeah, Musa, let me do the addition? He's not going to tell you, say, let me do the calculus. He's going to say, let me do the addition. Because if such a number is given to you, what are you going to do? You're going to grab a calculator and you're going to do add those numbers. That's what we call arithmetic operation. You add, you subtract, you multiply, you divide. It has nothing to do with calculus. Nothing. So I think Musa Belede was very, composed to really teach this guy. Because I think he was under some type of influence. And I think he also has some type of malice against Musa, talking about calculus. Does he look like somebody that ever did calculus before? Or he just used the terminology because he wants to use it? Let's listen more.
No, because you start to 62, but that's not important. Let's move ahead.
Now, you see, Musa got here now because Musa provided the data with it now. 27, or let's say he started with 30. He gave 27 plus the one political leader. Instead of he saying, you know what, Musa, you're right. Maybe I may have misunderstood what you were saying. But now Musa asking to do the math. Guess what his response is? Let's move on. Because he thought Musa was going to just allow him to belittle him and allow him to have a will, but that was not the case. Musa stopping in his track. And now what he decided to do, build out of that particular conversation and say, let's move on. Fellow Liberians, these guys you're calling CEO around here, we in America here. I don't know about you guys that are in America here. I don't know what you do for a living. But some of us here, the behavior of this guy on this show in particular does not represent any CEO behavior. He was very unprofessional. He has no work decency towards anybody. And I don't regard him like the way you guys regard him. He may be giving you 2 cents, 5 cents over there. I don't give a damn. But I will tell you that whatever money he's giving to you guys out there, if he doesn't provide any financial report in this country, that money is not a real money in this country. But that's not the discussion here. But I know some of you guys want to lean in that direction. This guy they call Stanton Waterspoon is one of the most unprofessional individuals. But he thought he could humiliate Musa Bedete. But I thought that Musa Bedete's response was very excellent and well placed. And he became one of the most stupidest men on the platform. Look at the faces of everybody. They are either smiling or they're looking down. You see the composure of Dr. Francine here, body language. It tells you that this guy, she's picturing in her mind that Stanton is embarrassing himself. She's a psychologist. She knows those things. He's embarrassing himself. So resting your hand in that way across her profile face, it's telling you it's a message. It's a facial description she's giving that this guy is ruining for himself. And all she has to do is to just sit down and listen to the drama. But it will come a time where she will have to get out of that comfort zone and start to interjecting, because it may be leaving from green going to yellow, from yellow going to red, and then next thing you're going to explode. That's the facial language there.
Map is not important. Let's talk about the party and the politics, my man.
Because that's why you started with to say that I didn't do calculus. But brother,
you didn't do calculus in school, my man. A lot of people didn't do calculus. Only the president alone did calculus, my man. Let's move ahead.
Look at that stupidity then. Look at that stupidity. This is a CEO that people come to sit down and listen to. Why is he spreading the thing now? Only the president do that. When last job we had the calculus. What that was this guy was on some type of inference. That would be my professional guess. He was on some type of inference. I don't know what that is, whether the sugar level was high. I'm not the expert to talk about that. But from the way he keep jumping from one hoops to another or looping from one hoop to another, he was on some type of inference. And I think Musa was more composed to make sure that he addressed whatever label he tried to put on him. Musa decided to peel that label off. He doesn't like that. Now he going to George Brianna. I think when the president knows calculus. What kind of dumb thought process will come to you like that? Only the president knows calculus. You know what that statement means when you really look into it deeper? Only that word, only the president knows calculus. In what context is that message or that comment is being applied? Only the president knows calculus. You can see the stupidity if you pay attention to it. That's why it is. It was not about giving you guys the rightful information to understand what is actually happening within the Liberty Party of Musa Bedete versus Nobly Kanga as the political leader of the party. He never wanted to come out with any question that would bring out to light what is actually happening in the party. George Weah is the only man I know calculus. What kind of stupid comment is that?
Those things don't fly by me.
Man, you're bad for all. We will play the tape. You were mistaken your map. You were mistaken. We will play the tape. And I will send it to you. I will send it to you. You will play the tape.
It's correct. And the leadership structure of Liberty Party I just named to you. And my point where I know you are listening to me, that 90% of that number stand with the decision we make. And I stand by
so
it.
Are you saying you don't want to answer my question? Are you saying only Delon and Youngbley by themselves? Only Delon and Youngbley by themselves, the rest of the people are with you?
So which other question you want me to answer? This one
Thank you. Because he's all over the place. You see, something that is not your area, but you got the passion for it, stay in the back. Stay in the back and learn more. He's just tossing questions out there, and the guy is trying to answer the question. But because he's emotionally charged, he's not measured in his thought. He's just putting stuff out there. But these are the people you're listening to. These are the people you're listening to. And that's how they will mislead you in so many directions. And when you meet the rightful people and they start to challenge your intellectualism, then you'll become very embarrassed and you're going to turn it into something else. The man told you 90% are with me. You know what other people would have done? Why are you saying 90%? Are you basing that 90% based on the bylaw and constitution of the organization process or decision making? Explain to me while that 90% became a number that supports you. But he going to DeLong, he going to Nomlikanga. He's trying to make the thing an individual versus Musa Bedete, rather than explain to you guys what are the processes or what is the process how decisions are made. He's not explaining to you. He's not trying to bring those things to you. He's putting the individual in the big picture and trying to hide or shield the process. And that's what happened in there.
Anyone, take anyone. You just beating around the bush, Musa. Go ahead. Answer the question. Why you and Yompli can go in the room and make peace for the sake of party? Why you're fighting each other?
First of all,
now the thing here is, it is one thing for two people to make or have confusion or be in confusion, but it's another thing for a body of people, whether it's 30, 27, or 1, to have misunderstanding. It's another thing for a decision to be made based on the generality. I mean, the general consensus of the people, or let's say 90% of the population of committee members. So rather than he trying to make you guys to understand what is wrong with the process, is it wrong? Are you in the right or are you in the wrong? What is going on? How did you guys come up with the decision? Musa, tell me, how did you guys come up with a decision? And let Musa explain how the decision was made. But he's trying to create a drama. You see, you guys are, I mean, the sentiment is a complete distracted individual, because these people are having a very good conversation. Let me admit, these guys are having a very good conversation. They were more focused on the issue, but this guy decided to make the thing a very personal one-to-one issue between Nnamdi Kanga and Musa Bedete. He completely removed the process of how things were done to get Musa Bedete to approve a decision. He completely ruled that out, because why? He is emotionally charged. He is using his high level of emotion rather than his intellect. And that was screwing things up here.
This is a wrong premise, and I don't accept that. The issue of Liberty Party is not personal. So for you to come and tell me.
Thank you. You see what I'm telling you? Musa Bedete is very smart in this interview. He had figured out that this guy called Stanton came just to personalize these things rather than to discuss it on a general platform. And he catching up to every trick that he tries. You see, he wants to create the drama. This guy, the Stanton, enjoys the drama. He wants to see confusion everywhere. He like the United Nations. United Nations don't let us see peace in country, because when all the country are at peace, there will be no more job for the United Nations. He wants to see confusion. The more confusion he creates, the better position he will enjoy seeing things. He like a kid that want to see things being destroyed rather than things being built or maintained in the original structure. That's who Stanton is. And Musa is now buying that idea from him.
Well, first of all, you are the body that runs the day-to-day affair of the party is the executive committee.
Thank you. So you see, what did I say from the beginning? If they clown, like you call Stanton Waterspoon, that meaning Liberian back home, CEO. First thing, and that only question he had, the way he should answer ask that question was, can you tell us how decisions are made within the party? And if Musa explained the decision, then he asked, what is the role that you play and what is the role of the political party? And the decision that were made, how did you guys arrive at that decision? He didn't ask that question. He came with calculus, he came with the numbers. Now Musa is telling him now that we have a committee. We have a committee. That means that he, the political chairman, doesn't have an absolute decision. That decision will go through a process that involves committee members. And that way he should have expanded his question. What is the role of the committee member versus the political leader? But the guy is a complete moron. Complete moron. He has no idea about what he's getting into or what he already into. He got no idea.
So there's no beef between me and the political leader. I don't accept that. We have no personal issue.
You don't have to accept it. Everybody's saying it. Yes, you guys are not coming along.
Wait, is he trying to settle a personal beef, or is he trying to make the Liberian people to understand what is happening with regards to Nobly Kanga coming? I mean, Musa Bede inviting Eddie's Cummings. See, you have to separate the two. If Nobly Kanga and Musa Bede cannot get along, that does not accuse Musa Bede or exempt Musa Bede from doing his job by working with the committee members to get things done. That's why he doesn't want you guys to understand. His goal, and that is the goal of Mr. Witherspoon up there, you see in the top left corner. His goal is to create confusion. That's what he wants. He wants to marginalize the, you know, how in the boxing profile, you got the other guy against the other guy like this. That's what he's trying to do. He wants to bring Nobly Kanga and Musa Bede face to face so that Liberian people can enjoy the violence. He's inciting more violence into this conversation rather than trying to provide detail of how things are done within the party. He doesn't want to go that route. That's how very unprofessional he is, and he continues to personalize these questions against Musa, and Musa is doing extremely well to resist his temptation. And I think so far Musa has been holding his own, and he's doing extremely well. He's still trying to be the honor taker, the honor dog, don't want to let go. Yeah, he's still holding on to that bone, even though he got 0.01% of that bone, and Musa Bede got a very high percentage, perhaps 99.9% of that bone on his side. He's not letting that bone go because he's a very egotistic individual who continue to humiliate himself because he feel, oh, I'm the CEO, I'm always right. Very, very stupid approach. And you guys just sitting down there now. Look at the faces of all these guys. All right. I said Doe, Terminal George, Dr. Peabody, Kev Hassan, all these guys. Look at Dr. Francina. Her facial expression is just telling her, just wingering around that this guy is making complete ass of himself.
There's a big divide. There's a big divide between you and Senator Youngbley.
So
the big divide got nothing to do with the decision that was made. It got nothing to do with that decision.
Answer a question.
Go ahead, Musa. Chairman, go ahead. Chairman, go ahead.
So you have to tell me that you will not interrupt my question. Otherwise, then there's no need for.
He's very unprofessional. That's why he is. He is very, very unprofessional. That's who he is. Very, very unprofessional. If the host, if the guest can look at one of the panelists, and he's not just a regular panelist, a CEO, and say, if you allow me to just answer the question, he's not the moderator. He is one of the panelists that only operate based on what the moderator giving to him as a time. But he wants to run the whole show. I don't know about you guys, man.
Maybe a minute and a half. I will not interrupt you.
You don't give me time when to answer my question. I will answer my question and don't interrupt me.
Chairman, go ahead. If you made a mistake, I will correct you. Go ahead.
Exactly. So when you make the mistake, I will correct you too, my brother. Not because they play for you. So
no, it's not for me. It's for you.
No. Yeah, he right. He hitting good. Yes. He feel emboldened now. That one thing about power. Musa is right because Musa has taken on so many positions. He know what trigger people behavior. He know what gave people the edge to be very disgruntled and disrespectful. Musa knows that. And he just hit a snake on the head. Yes.
It's not for me. It's not for me. No, I'm just coming to you because everybody know it's a big divide between you and.
We can see everybody know. Where did everybody that knows something? Everybody not talking about the division. Everybody has been talking about the decision of, everybody not talking about the conflict. They're talking about the decision that Musa Bede had made to invite Alexander Cummings. This guy is
and you and Senator Kanga Lawrence.
No, that you cannot have that. I totally don't accept that. And I
you don't need to accept it. That's a reality out there.
No, it is
you
not
guys
true.
cutting speech from each other. You guys cutting Chemlin. You guys are cutting Chemlin. You're cutting speech. You're acting like schoolgirls and schoolboys.
Now, if the guy tells you that we're not cutting speech, we don't have the conflict, why is he keep insisting that it is? Is he trying to impose that feelings into the conversation? When Musa is saying it's not true, where do they stop? You're accusing the man is saying, no, it is not true. But you see the people saying it out there. But you're talking to the guy and he gave you the information. So where do you stop to move on? And then where the thing get very, very shady, racket, and start to explode. Because it's push and pull, push and pull. But remember, he called himself a CEO who are going through the rank and file of every position and should be under the expectation of understanding what and where to de-escalate and not to escalate things. He doesn't have those skills. So he had been the aggressor from the start. He continued to escalate. He continued to incite. He continued to flame the fire and just create an explosion. That's what Mr. Witherspoon has been doing to Musa Perere. He keep personally to attack this man and not to make you guys to understand the issue.
No, you are spewing misinformation because this is not about Musa Belete and Jombly. This is about the political leader.
It's about who get the power to run.
Thank you. Look, guys, I don't know about you guys. And one of the reasons why I don't watch you guys' show because no disrespect to the other panelists, but I think they are not really coordinating things to understand that there are different Liberians out there who will see things from different spectrum and they will analyze it. Musa just gave you the clear answer. The issue is between the committee and the party decision. That's why it is. But this guy is coming with personal issue. That's what he's doing.
Liberty Party. It's about Musa Belete is exercising his chairmanship power compared to Yombly, who will exercise a political leadership power.
No.
Okay, now, so how do you differentiate the two powers? Speaking about calculus now, how do you differentiate? Because differentiation is a word that is related, closely related to calculus. Instead of he asking this guy, all right, Musa, forget about it one-to-one. What are the roles? Can you differentiate your role you play as the party chairman and the role of the political leader so we can understand who's stepping on other people's boundary? Because the role play in an organization will tell you your limit. He's not asking the question.
No, it is about the executive committee exercising its right as an executive committee. You want to personalize it?
Yes.
No,
I would not allow.
You see the stupidity there? You see the stupidity? I just want to stop the video now and just leave. Stanton Witherspoon is a moron, an idiot, and a very, very stupid individual. Those that listen to him, I'm not bringing the other people in. Those that listen to him, I'm sorry, you are lowering your own understanding, your quantitative understanding. If you listen to this guy, you are messing your understanding. If you are at 80% and over the year you listen to Stanton, you are probably now in your high or low 50s of your quantitative understanding. Because he is one of the dumbest guys that I ever seen on Facebook that will not understand what someone is trying to tell him because he's very ego rather than being very logical in how things should be done. A very, very arrogant individual. That's who he is.
Yombly having a divide in Liberty Party. You Chairmanability and Yombly cannot speak on good terms. You Chairmanability and Yombly cannot see eye to eye. You are the chairman. She is the political leader. When last have you guys have come up with a conclusive together statement? It have never happened. You running on the left, she running on the right. You guys are taking different routes, and you know that. Don't fool the Liberian people. You know that very well.
Yeah.
And destroying the Liberty Party, though.
All this your sermonizing and romanticizing you are on, it doesn't take me anywhere. What I'm
not saying it should take.
He asking for he said it doesn't affect the Liberty Party, but he was asking, or he asked Musa Belete from the beginning, is there a Liberty Party? Now he coming back to say it destroying the Liberty Party. You see how inconclusive this guy man works, and you see how stupid he making himself, and he made everybody laugh when the man say all your imaginary behavior, jumping here and there, is not going to move me. Musa in this conversation remain unbroken. He remain a solid rock. This guy they call Witherspoon just make a complete ass out of himself, and he really need to rethink his strategy of approaching people. He did very poor on this show. It is not about Musa Bedede. It's nothing like conflict. If there's an internal conflict, it has nothing to do with what the issue that they were discussing today. It was about Musa Bedede ability. I mean, Musa Bedede ability. All right, it's a repetitious word, so I just have to use it. It was Musa Bedede responsibility to come here and explain how the decision was made to get Alexander Cummings out there. What processes or what process they went through to get Cummings coming over there. But he tried to make it personal.
That's what you're doing. What I'm saying to you is the Liberty Party Executive Committee is not Musa ability. And I will not allow you to make it appear that it is Musa ability.
Correct.
It is the Executive Committee. It is a 24-member Executive Committee, and you would not term that as Musa ability. That is disrespectful to 23 other people.
And that is very unprofessional. And that showed no work decency at all. I think Musa Bedede, yes, you did a very good job. I must admit, Musa, you did a very good job. He lectured this guy. Because this guy caused them to not understand nothing. Nothing. And folks, don't get me wrong. The other panelists, I give them good credit because from the get-go, they were well organized. Their questions were well in place. They asked beautiful questions. They made some salient remarks. It was fine. Not every one of them was 100% up there. At least they were all in the high or the low positive. I would say that. But this guy, he had destroyed the whole show, derailed the whole process.
When last he spoke to Young Kanga Lawrence?
What?
When last he spoke to the...
What does that have to do with what's going on right now? I feel sorry for you guys, man. Yes, I really do. You guys that listen to this guy, I feel sorry for some of you guys.
It's an issue relevant to the party. Saturday. When she put out her press statement, did you call her and ask her why she put out such press statement?
So before you ask me this question, did you ask her whether she called me to ask me before you put out
I'm asking you. You are the chairman, and that's what we talk about.
Well, but so being the chairman mean that, oh, you see how he run his show now? That's why he's behaving the way he's behaving. Musa Bedede is trying to tell you that it's a two-way conversation. If you know that she didn't call me, that means he spoke to her. That means Stanton spoke to Namdi Kanga. No wonder why he behaving like this. And that's why Musa decided to reverse the question to him. If I don't call her, did you ask her? No, it's about you. You see how the guy is so stupid, but he plays his stupidity to your disadvantage of understanding things? Musa Bedede just asking a reverse question. Did you ask her? It's in communication the two-way. What we always say, if Moses don't go to the mountain will come to Moses, right? But he doesn't want to answer the other question.
The ego about who's going to control the party. You are the chairman.
Yeah,
she's the political leader.
You are not a party or Liberty Party. Get out of it. It's not your business.
I don't have to be the party of Liberty Party. You don't have to get mad, Musa.
Whatever party you in, you don't have to get Musa,
you don't have to get mad.
Ask me the question, I will answer.
Musa, you don't have to get mad. It's the truth. The truth is that you are allowing your egos to destroy Liberty Party. You are allowing your egos to destroy Liberty Party.
Now you see how he concluding right now. So this is not an interview to provide information. Musa Bedede is being put on a judgment seat by Mr. Witherspoon and only Mr. Witherspoon, and he's now giving you his conclusion that Musa Bedede is destroying the Liberty Party. This is where he wanted to be. This was his goal. Interview is nothing to judge people. It is to allow people to give their side of the story and let the people out there make the decision. So Mr. Witherspoon now has cast out. So everything after what he just said, that Mr. Musa Bedede is going to answer Mr. Witherspoon, already casted that. I mean, the dice, already closed the case, already made a decision that he is the juror. The juror. He's the investigator. He is the judge. He is the everything, and telling you now that Musa Bete is out to divide the party. How can a guy who runs a radio station come out and just single-handedly make a decision after a few minutes of conversation? You see how dangerous these guys are messing with your mind in our country? You see it? I don't know what to tell you guys, man. I don't know what to tell you.
You know that. You only should go in the room and discuss the fact.
I want to eat now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, gentlemen.
I want to eat. Give me some of the meat. Let me eat.
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen,
Gentlemen.
Abdullah, I'm begging you. Abdullah. Just one last thing. Let me tell Musa.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. There is no need for all to play game. Above all, Liberia remains supreme. So all the dancing around, all the dancing around, I'm not going to find party in Liberia. Stop that. All the dancing around, it will not help you. Because at the end of the day, I must tell you this, Musa, the Liberian people are watching the movie. The movie is that you want to be the barman and hero. Yombli Kanga want to be the barman and hero too. It's wrong. You guys should meet. This is not what Bronskin signed up for. They left us to the Bronskin, did everything possible to unite Liberty Party. And everybody.
So let me catch something here, right? So Musa said a very interesting thing here, and I want you to not let it go. Musa just said that this guy, Stanton, wants to be president. He just skipped that and continues talking. Someone that don't want to become president, even if they want to become president, but want to be fake or unreal, we address that question. Musa just told him, all the things you're doing, you want to be president. And we all know that is a common introduction practice that many Liberians will do when they want to become politicians. They will go out there and start to feed things to people, giving them back a rest, opening little things. But at the end of the day, they want to be president. Musa Bete just said something that is very key, and I thought to bring that up on the show because it's possible that years to come, it may spark out, and Musa Bete will be right. So I want to set that information clear for you right now.
Musa will speak on a Sunday, Young will speak on a Monday.
You don't even know the history. You don't even know the history.
Yeah, you know the history. You just get it along, Musa. Musa get it along.
It's agreement, disagreement, and misunderstanding and understanding. But anyway, Stan, you just
I rest my case.
No, you don't even know how it works.
I rest my case. Let Abdullah take
control. You need to rest your case because
my own problem is that everybody saying you and Senator Kanga Lawrence on two different tracks. It's not healthy for the party. She running to UP, you running to ANC.
You see how the guy has taken control of the show, that even the lady has to leave, take a break. He really killed the momentum in the show. Yeah, he killed the momentum in the show. And this is one of the lowest moments that I have ever seen on Facebook. It just goes to show that this guy called CEO Yours Witherspoon, they just take the title and give it to themselves. But when the challenge is, when a situation become a point where you should de-escalate or just let it go, he failed that test. So what do you think that I know Chinwe or Francine went out to do? And those that were watching the show, I really feel sorry for them.
See, my man, it's not healthy for the party that you guys are calling speech. You guys are speaking to each other. You guys come to your Chemle. You blaming her that she's supporting the document from you. Come on, man. This thing is childish.
Just ask your question, I will answer it. How wrong our party is none of your business.
That's not your party. Those are our party.
The man said how we run our party. They got our own influence. And there's nobody there to tell him to stop. That is the cowardly behavior of many Liberians. You got a lunatic who had taken control of the show and just speeding off bull crap, talking. I don't want to use the word here right now because I don't know who listening to me here. And nobody dared to tell him to stop. Nobody dared to. You see, that is what we call command and control. And that's the environment I don't find myself. He is clearly demonstrating to you guys that he's above the law. He above everyone. He has the absolute power and nobody going to shut him down. Even the moderator of the show not going to shut him down. Total disrespect, guys. Total disrespect. I mean, you can go and go watch them. It's up to you guys. But RJ Randy, until I begin to see transparent standard of discipline of how things should be done, before you will ever catch me watching this. The only reason I'm analyzing this, and you know so far what I have said about what while we're looking at the video here. This guy is a complete lunatic. I don't know where some of you guys come from to continue to call this guy a CEO, but like I said, there are good for nothing CEO, there are unqualified CEO, there are unprofessional CEO, there are CEO who are very super in what they do. I don't know which category you're going to put the guy in, but I don't see him being a person that I would call CEO, to be honest with you. Because what he did on the show, it was very, very humiliating and embarrassing to the organization. They say the guy called Spoon Talk or Spoon TV. Crap.
Your party, and that's why I've gotten into your head because you said my party, our party. That's the people's party. That's the people's party. You cannot say how we run our party.
No, it's not your party. You are not a member of the Liberty Party. We don't even want you as a member because you are a Confucianist. You get the job guy.
Yes, Musa is right. See, Musa already figured this guy. He is indeed a Confucianist. That's why he does. He's playing on the Liberian people intelligence. He knows the people are suffering. He knows the people like to hear drama and forget about the suffering. That's why the guy, Musa really released important characteristic about Mr. Witherspoon. I don't know how many of you guys caught it, but Musa really gave a profile of Mr. Witherspoon. He doesn't care about the people. He just wants to see the drama. And, you know, he wants to. I remember back in the days, I watched a cartoon, the Justice League, and the guy went back in time. This little kid, he was not a little kid. He was one of the how they call it? What the word I'm looking for? I think he was one of the adversaries. All right, but not the word to describe it. But every time Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman will went and settle down the city, he will go and spark something so that the Batman can go because he enjoyed the pleasure of starting confusion and want to see Batman. That's exactly who Mr. Witherspoon is. He doesn't have feeling for the Liberian people. Let me just put it that way. Because a guy who calls himself a CEO, who wants to really bring transparency to the public so that people of Liberia and friends of Liberia can understand what is actually happening, he tend to make this thing more personal focus than rather looking at it from an administrative decision standpoint. And it's not working for Musa. Musa is pushing back hard.
Come all over the place. But I will prepare for you tonight.
Chairman Billington, let's take the question around. I know you refuse to answer my question, but my advice to you, my brother, my advice to you, you should try to call Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence. You guys went to Farmington Hotel. You have a piece of call. You took picture. It was all white tee, black hat. You were all celebrating, drinking tea, taking picture. It was all flamomo. We know that. But the inner portion of this whole thing is that you, Musa Hassan Benete, you got proud. You want them to say, yes, sir. The Iron Lady Yomli Kanga Lawrence, political leader of the party, she want them to say, yes, ma'am. You guys are not saying eye to eye. She running with Joseph Boaka. You running with Alexander Cummings. She pulling some of the folks from Liberty Party. You are pulling some of the folks of Liberty Party. Liberians are washing. And this thing going to destroy the party. It's going to destroy CPP.
You know, in all fairness to him, what he just said, it could have been better presented if he had given Musa Bede the opportunity to explain the decision that was made to invite comments and allow Musa Bede to explain his role and allow Musa Bede to explain his function and go and do the same thing. And Musa Bede, he knows the role and function of Nomikanga, and it crosses each of them that become a dysfunctional process. Then now when he should come out to make such a decision. So why it is true that he coming up with some little points, is showing some positive things, but it's not hitting on any reference because he screwed the whole damn thing up.
I rest my case. Take it or leave it. I love you like brother. You're a good businessman, but you can be a better chairman. Abdullah, please.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. CEO, I like the fireworks. I like the fireworks. It was interesting. It was robust because Spoon here, we do not pamper. We do not provide warm hot towel to massage yourself. But again, we're back to the issue, and I think we discussed tonight. We have our guest, distinguished chairman of Liberty Party, Musa Asambbility. And we have a panel of discussions. We appreciate our viewers with Radio Land and online, on Facebook, and around the world, Europe, Africa, Asia, China, everywhere. So we appreciate you, and we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to go to the first line very, very shortly. Ben Sanvi has joined the party. We're not sure whether we're going to admit him into our party unannounced. But so Ms. Ability, we went back to the last line of questioning. And then from there, we invite our people on from Liberia in America and all around the world to participate in our conversation. It is robust. We'd like to welcome roll out the red carpet for Chairman Ben Sanvi. Chairman Ben Sanvi, welcome. Ekamo has arrived. The Nigerian Peace Corps has arrived on the spot, and he's ready to put some cold water on the hot flames. But anyway, Chairman Sanvi, I think you've been listening. I really want your input because you're just fresh from it. You're looking like fresh money, so do something for.
So, guys, I will end the show here, all right? Because I'm not in the position to listen to Chairman Ben Sanvi right now. This guy is in no way in any position for me to listen to him right now. This guy is hurting the Liberian people. He took $45,000 from the Liberian people, and it is yet to make any payment arrangement. I'm not going to listen to him. For those of you who came a few minutes ago, we have been discussing something here, and I'm not in a position to listen to this guy here. All right. So let me see what I can do here quickly here. Let me see what I can do here quickly here. All right. Let's see something here.
I'm not talking about money, we're not talking about money. My man, you the richest man in Liberia. You the richest man in Liberia. We're not talking about money. We are not talking about money. Musa, you are not like and you want to know who the boy is? Let me tell you something. Guys, hold on 1 minute. Let me talk to Musa Asambbility.
I will talk to you.
You want to know who destroying CPP today?
That you.
I can name them.
That you.
I can name them. I can tell you who destroying CPP. I can tell you who's the undercover. Musa, you are not like
Gentlemen, back down, folks.
Musa, you are not like it, but we will tell you. You are not like it, but we will tell you. You have to drive that trial. You have to drive that egos. You have to try to unite Liberty Party.
You need to stop dividing the CPP.
You got to stop that.
You are causing the division.
That hypocrisy, you need to stop it. You need to stop doing jumping here and there like kakaleka. Don't play kakaleka with the People Party.
Okay, just mute everybody.
He suffered. He bled. And he died holding that party together. And from nowhere, but you know what, Musa? Let me tell you this. Hold on 1 minute, Abdullah, hold on 1 minute. Let me tell you.
But the moderator said he was going to mute everybody. But Mr. Witherspoon is still talking. So why is he making such a comment like that? See, all the guys are all cowards. And now they want to blame George Weah, but people are around George Weah and they are all praising. Look right on the show here. The moderator just said, I'm going to mute everybody. But he's so afraid to mute Mr. Witherspoon. That shit not going to happen to me. I mean, excuse my language. It's not going to happen to me. The man is disturbing the show. He's distracting the show. He's doing everything. turn the men off. You see, that's why it's always important to always focus on an organization, constitution, or bylaws. If the bylaw says anybody is disturbing, the moderator have the right to shut them off or mute their line. But that tells me that Spoon TV doesn't even have any structure in place. Because if this guy they call, I don't know, Kiatama, what his name is, allows this guy, why you think the other people, I mean, that the people that have been quiet, Chairman and George have been quiet. I think once in a while, the Dr. Francine lady have been outspoken. Why you think they can't talk? You don't think they want to talk? But the guy just running everything. Some of you guys are watching show. I don't know what you guys' mindset, but I mean, I'm glad I'm not in that kind of mindset with many of you guys that watch you guys' show. I mean, to be honest with you, they got no professional, no integrity, no respect, everything. And the CEO, as he calls himself, self-declared CEO. You see why is it important that when people classify you to be a CEO, it comes from the general public and not just self-declared CEO. That's why it is.
You really show the people that you only play. You have been Lawrence
and Darius the law and all the group that make you chairman deserve it. All the group that make you chairman deserve it. All the he said small picking.
You're right, Musa, and Musa is right. I mean, look at every one of them. And you know, that's how Liberia is. One man gets show, he runs everything and get control everything, but then they want to come and fight check other people. So Musa is right. I mean, I got to give it all to Musa on this one here. This interview is stand up one of the best that I have seen Musa Bailey attended.
Thank you, man.
All of them deserve it because they make you chairman.
No. So what do you think you have done now? The only thing you have done tonight, is to disrupt your own show. Because the show was going on, the listener was over 3,000. Since it dropped to 1,005.
The show dropped to 1,005. Look at the number.
Yeah. But then you got the numbers too.
No, he's not running behind the number. He's giving you the fact that you are disturbing the show and the interest of the show to many people have become redundant, uninterested. And that's the one Musa Bede is giving to this guy. I'm saying that maybe they got on some type of inference. I could be wrong. But the fact that he's not listening, doing more talking, and Musa is paying attention to everything, and he giving every relevant reason why he's not an individual that people should take to be CEO.
All right. Okay.
You know what, Musa?
Just stop the man.
Musa, I invite you one-on-one to the one-on-one with the Spoon Talk. Come and join me.
I don't think Musa should take that opportunity. Unless Musa himself is a very stupid man, I'll go over there. But I don't think Musa should just rush to come back to the show here. But it's up to Musa Bailey's discretion because there are certain characteristics he still has in him that could make him to come back. But if I were me, I won't want to have any conversation with this man here because for the fact that he tried to humiliate Musa Bailey and Musa Bailey had been fighting his own, holding his ground, and now he calling on one-on-one. That tell you that he already failed. This guy called Stanton Witherspoon need to come back on this show, on his one-on-one show, and publicly apologize to Musa Belede and take responsibility for his unprofessional, unethical, and very, very undecent work behavior that he exhibited on the show here, and tell the people that he will never do such a thing again. And going forward, everyone should keep their eyes on him. I don't think any professional person should come on the show. But again, that's just my recommendation. And I can guarantee you 99.9% Liberian will not take what I'm telling you because that's how the country is. And I'm not going to make anyone or compare anyone to follow what I want to do. But for me, I don't think this institution is somewhere that I can go to waste my time. No. It's not about popularity content. It's about the message that you send out to people to give them a reason why they should believe in their country. They should believe in how things are done by understanding what people are doing and how and why they are doing so.
That what you're doing this week until we talk about
money. And I guarantee you, you will run away
for your own showing money.
I guarantee you will run away. Come and join me. One-on-one.
Let me tell you something. That small money you get in America now, you just
you're not talking about money.
Can't
We're
say
not
that
talking
there.
about money. My man,
Yeah,
you the
I
richest
see
man
that
in
you can't
Liberia.
work with me, oh.
You the richest man in Liberia.
That's
We're not
how
talking about
you
money.
can't for me, eh?
We are
Man,
not
you
talking
cannot
about
for
money.
me.
Musa,
No,
you
tell
are not
me.
like the truth.
Look at.
The truth.
Kiatama is another low-life individual that don't have no self-discipline. All he need to do is to turn that thing off. And I think the lady is trying to draw his attention to de-escalate the situation. But he's another scarecrow who is so afraid to turn Mr. Witherspoon off because he came in as a disruptor, as a spoiler, but he's so afraid.
Musa has ability. Musa, we are not talking about money, but I tell you the fact you can get verse all you can.
So you see, the lady in the red, she tried to call this Tamba guy attention, but because he is so scared, he is a freeloader. He hearing that lady, but he doesn't want to answer because the lady will tell him to shut Stanton off. Now the lady have blocking all that and calling Mr. Stanton directly now because things are getting out of hand.
Get vest, all you want to get vest. You are destroying Liberty Party. You need to do a U-turn.
Now you are saying the right thing. That's exactly what you need to say. That's why you not say that. You don't go, man.
You need to do a U-turn, Musa. You will be my chairman. I like you as a businessman. I like you. When you are destroying Liberty Party, you need to stop.
What? My man, I beg you, man. You let me
can't talk about numbers. You can't worry about numbers. Look at the numbers. Say you myself.
Now you see how reverse psychology can hurt now. Musa told him that he had lost almost 2/3 of his audience. Now it's playing on his mind now. But you remember from the beginning, he said Musa Bede doesn't understand calculus. And isn't what now the same number he was talking about, but Musa Bede played right back to him. Now he said you worrying about the numbers. That's how this show will be destroyed. I'll tell you this, guys. The person that will destroy the Spoon Network is this guy they call Stanton Witherspoon. He's going to destroy. If you're out there and you want to seize on somebody's stupidity, this is the time you need to start planning now. And you should also learn from managing and controlling emotional behavior, because this guy will destroy the institution. I mean, not institution, but this platform. And he will have to blame himself because his ego is above everything now. And Musa is the one that is standing right in his way to tell him about his bad and unprofessional behavior. This guy, as long this guy called Stanton, this guy called Ben Senvi, as long they are on the show, you can guarantee that RJ Randy will never appear because they had no integrity. They got no work decency approach. They are not ethical. They are living with all no moral standards and no characteristic plus more are the reason why I would not sit or take my time to watch their show. Only if one of you guys or two of you guys, 3, 4, send me a video about a particular interaction such as what I'm doing today, it will be the reason why I will sit to analyze this thing. But these guys are a bunch of low-level individuals who have seized on the moment because the Liberian people are very bold and they don't have the leverage to expand their minds in listening to intellectual discussion. So they are limited themselves to this kind of platform. And you see what is happening today. This lady now, as you can see her face, she yelling, Stanton, stop that crap you're doing. But this guy is not going to stop at anything because that's who he is. That's who he is. Let's listen to the last part and then we'll be done.
It's 3.5. You talk about numbers. Musa, I will advise you strongly. You got to bring down your pride. You got to bring down your egos. That's why a lot of people blame about FIFA. A lot of people blame about LFA. A lot of people.
Now he attacking the man personally now. He attacking the man personally. And you know what triggered the personality attack? Because the man told him that he losing numbers. So he had taken that number now and integrated it into his emotion now. What did I tell you guys from the beginning? men should be more logical than emotional. But many Liberian men are more emotional than being logical. And I think Musa Berete really exhibited the logical skill of men. And this guy called Stanton is really proving that he's more emotional than being logical. This lady in the red is trying to be more logical. She's trying to play the role of a police officer. But all the other guys, look at their faces. I'm not talking about the other crook they call Decency, because a face does not, don't let a face fool you. He's corrupt. This guy down here, I don't know about this guy here. All right. This guy they call Sintama or Sintamali, since he has been quiet throughout. Because he know what the guy is doing is screwing things up. Dr. Peabody, as usual, he's always quiet and he continued to maintain that. Mr. Kevin Hassan, he spoke a little bit, even though he talked crap. I mean, that's it. But Francine is trying to do what she does best to weather the storm. But this guy is not going to do anything here. So
You got to start. You got to try to unite the CPP. Unite CPP. That's all you got to do. You need to unite CPP. You need to stop security.
Camera off.
You own the network. You own the network. You are abusing it. But if people were like to abuse it,
Musa, you were not here. I will tell you the fact. It's shameless. It's shameless. It's disgraceful for you to destroy Liberty Party.
Just leave here alone. Y'all just let it be.
Go ahead. Dr. Richardson, go ahead.
And now he won't call the woman doctor after he disrespected the woman. I think the question that Dr. Richardson asked of Musa Berete, whether he respect women and love working with women, I think that question should be also posed to Mr. Witherspoon. That lady scream, call the Kiatama guy, call Witherspoon so many times, and Witherspoon did not listen to that woman. I don't know about you guys that watch this show. What did you guys go on the show to watch? Is it just because of the entertainment? That's not enough for your learning experience. When you go to watch a show, you're going to learn about how things works, who are those in charge, and how efficient and effectively they are executing their job. And if there's any discrepancy, why the discrepancy, and you should be able to get the understanding. This guy need to apologize to Musa Berete and apologize to every one of you guys who watched that show. Mr. Witherspoon, you are seeing it all today, from the beginning to where I start. The lady called to shut him down. Kiatama is another bull liquor that is so afraid to press that mute button. Musa Berete came as a guest, but the guy turned the whole thing into personal attack between he and Musa Berete. I don't know what Nomli Kanga told him, but when he said that he was in the traffic driving recklessly because he was over emotionally charged, and that's why he was driving recklessly like that, and that's why he has shown to you guys. As I leave, I want you to remember this. I'm not perfect, but when it comes to holding some of the principles that people judge us by, especially in the public, we should be able to accept any criticism if we fall short of things and improve on it. This guy called himself CEO, he got no characteristic. His CEO only exists in Liberia. It doesn't exist in America here. Because the characteristic that he continued to show on this platform is not the American characteristic. That's what I will tell you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. And I appreciate any number that watch me. Because you know why? The smaller number that watch me, it shows that how much heavy lifting we got to do in our country, because the country itself is fucked up. Tomorrow will be November 1st. We will have roughly about what? 31 plus 30. That what? 61 more days, I guess, for the year to come to an end, right? Because November got what? 30 days. December had 31 days. Take the 2, 3, make that 6, drop the 1 down because it's 0. You got 61. By the way, that's not calculus I'm doing. When you're adding numbers, you are not calculus. Or you are not calculating. You are only adding. But I will not go there with that other conversation. So let me say a big thank you to you guys. Our country, Liberia, we are so far behind in everything. And the people who are on the various platform, they are far more worst. But again, let me say this to you guys. I am about to show you a video about Facebook. I don't know how long that video will go, and I don't know whether I will be on Facebook again. But that video is actually going to expose Facebook to what they have done to you. It's about information I'm going to provide to you. So right after here, I'm going to open up this very computer and I'm going to beam the phone into that, and then you're going to listen to it. Until then, have yourself a blessed week, good Sunday, and we'll be in touch. The show has come to an end. Bye, guys. End the broadcast.